Dur, 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 dur. Here I come to save the day. Dur, dur, dur. Avengers! Age of Ultron. Hey everyone, this is SoranotRoxas here, and actually let me scoot up the chair a little bit more so you guys can clearly see my face here. And just got back last night from seeing Avengers Age of Ultron. How was it? Man, it was every fanboy's dream. With that being said, it was total garbage. I'm joking, of course. I know it was a really bad one, but come on, you know, it's the Avengers. There's nothing about it that I'm going to say is, oh, it was terribly bad or anything like that. I have to be honest here. I am going to give you my full-on critique on it. This video might not be long because there wasn't a lot of things wrong with the movie. I already have the good things about it and the bad things about it, the pros and the cons. And the pros definitely outweigh the cons here. So that's why this is more of a fanboy review than a full-on critics review, like I did say something like 50 Shades of Grey, which I was really serious about. This one, this is the second movie, of course, and a series of movies, but yet at the same time being the second to the original Avengers film. And then this one is also kind of a sequel to Guardians of the Galaxy as well. As we know, the Marvel Cinematic Universe is starting to connect now, or they've been connecting for a while, ever since the first Iron Man movie, or should I say the Incredible Hulk movie? I don't know, one of those. I'm going to say the first Iron Man movie. They have come together. They have Marvel has done a fantastic job of making this thing work, as well as possibly the Disney influence, mostly a lot of it. Especially the amount of money they're throwing at these films. It's really worth it. It's really coming full circle now, and we're starting to get the entire story. So, let me start from the beginning. As far as how was the movie? Well, the movie was good. Like I said, I saw it yesterday. I saw it last night. I caught an 8 o'clock showing. Me and a couple of other friends of mine went. I invited another person. Unfortunately, they wasn't able to come. That was a little bit disappointing, but it's not going to stop me from seeing the movie. And like I said before, I was like, I think on a previous video, or I said this to them too as well, I was like, whether nobody comes or whether one person just comes along with me, I'm gonna watch the movie anyway. Nothing's gonna stop me. But I like having people there when I go to see a lot of these movies, because it's always nice to bounce stuff off of people, get their opinions and whatnot. You know, we have a little debate about it, and I like doing that. I like talking about movies. You know, I like reviewing them, criticizing them. It's my thing. But yeah, this time around I actually got a couple of friends to come with me who was ready to go see this. Actually, one of my friends was seeing it for the second time, so I was like, oh god, this movie must be really good if he's seeing it again for the second time. And he's a big comic book guy, so of course he knows the connections between the comic books and the movies and stuff like that. He's able to make a more reliable connection to the comic books than I would, as far as that, because I'm the moviegoer, you know. I did read some of the comic books. I haven't read anything since like the 90s, you know, or unless friends. I think the last thing I read was the Amazing Spider-Man ending or something like that. Has that been done over again? I don't know. You see, I don't even know that. I got really pissed off at the last issue. That's all I can remember, but I don't buy comic books. My friends mostly buy them, and they'll let me borrow them, and then they'll tell me about it. And it's good. And I like that, so that way I can compare them to the movies, but I like to review the movies alone by themselves, which is why I don't normally pay attention to the comic books as much as they do. But nice connection to the other movies as well as the comic books and the Avengers. Okay, so yeah, we got there, we got to the theater, I got my large bag of popcorn. Seriously, I had a large bowl of popcorn, man, and I ate the entire thing by myself. One of my friends actually grabbed a little bit, but that was it. I don't think he ate much more than that. I ate the entire thing by myself, and I drank a large soda. It didn't even go to the bathroom once. I did not want to get up I did not have to go. Thank goodness. Normally I have to go, especially in movies that last like 2 hours and at least over 2 hours. You know, you're like, okay, I really have to go to the bathroom. But this movie was interesting to keep you in your seat, and you didn't want to go anywhere. So okay, let's get to the movie, and let me stop talking about my theater experience. So, how is the movie? It's good. Is it better than the first one? Well, if you guys want to know my opinion on the first movie, you can go see that review. It should be. I'm possibly going to put a link to that in this one, or I might not. It's in the review section. Somewhere on my channel. The first movie I loved. I really liked. I think I gave it a 3 out of 4 or 4 out of 4, something like that. I think I gave it a 3 out of 4 if I can remember correctly. And you know, I said it was good. I'm glad all these movies came together. The connection was great. The acting was very good. The costumes was nice. Excuse me. Special effects top notch. This movie does the exact same thing, and it improves on almost every front. The dialogue especially has been improved, and that has to be thankful to the Guardians of the Galaxy, which I have already praised once before in my top 10 best movies of 2014 lists. I said that Guardians of the Galaxy, it's really the same way that Captain America the Winter Soldier did with the cinematography, with as far as the action scenes go, and how the camera doesn't shake 100 times and you're actually able to see what's going on. This movie does the same. And the Guardians of the Galaxy, to me, had the best dialogue from any Marvel movie so far. This one has it too. This one, the writing in here is exceptionally well. It's especially well. Every character, every cameo. There are cameos from the Iron Man movie, the Thor movie. Yeah, you got the guys from Captain America in there, and they all get dialogue. They all get like funny one-liners. And that was possibly the best part of the film for me. I think I told my friend this. I said one of the best parts for me was the dialogue and just listening to them talk and just, you know, just hang around, just hanging out, just with friends. You know, they're all these cool, iconic superheroes being normal for once. And it was so nice. It was so nice just seeing that. I love the scene when they're trying to lift Thor's hammer. That video has been put online already, so people are already seeing that part. Once again, fantastic seeing that again. When they had the little parties, that was nice. A lot of that really works. There was a lot of jokes being thrown in, even by the villain himself, Ultron, who I will get to in a second. Of course, Iron Man has to be the top guy as far as the jokes and the dialogue go. His was just perfect. It's amazing how spot on Robert Downey Jr. is, and he's fantastic. They all do well. Him, Chris Evans, Chris Hemsworth, Jeremy Renner, Scarlett Johansson, Samuel Jackson, Don Cheadle, Anthony Mackie, they're great. These guys are fantastic, and I can't see no one else in their roles as far as right now. So the action itself was good. Special effects, once again, is top-notch. I think in the beginning of the film there was a little bit, or I shouldn't say in the beginning, there was also some other parts, like towards the end, they have the big fight at the end, kind of like how they did in the first movie, and there's a lot of CGI going around. I think the Hulk scenes are done even better than in the Avengers. We got a really good Hulk scene in here, and I would have to say I was slightly put off by that scene. I wouldn't say, okay, I shouldn't say put off by that scene, because it was fantastic. You remember the part in the trailer where you see the big Iron Man suit and the Hulk are fighting? Yeah, that's only just to calm the Hulk down. They never use it again. I don't know why he just used it for that one time, and we've never heard of this version of the suit in the first movie or any of the other Iron Man movies, and he uses it here, and it's only to calm the Hulk down, where you have somebody like Ultron who basically has the power of the internet. He links himself up to the internet basically so he can be everywhere at once, which he doesn't take advantage of. You think he would take advantage of that. Also, for someone who's also his motivation is trying to destroy the world, they even say it in the movie. Why doesn't he just launch just launch nuclear weapons. You know, what are we going to do to stop them for the most part? I guess the Avengers can try to stop them, but if you have the power of the internet itself, that means you can get launch codes from every place in the world, not just America. It's so weird why he didn't just do that rather than just do, okay, we're going to all duke it out like this. And he actually says in the movie, this is the way I want it. I wanted us to duke it out like this. It's dumb. But like I said, I'll get back to Ultron in a second. The settings was really good. I like how it wasn't just in New York. They actually did go to different locations, and this is something that freaking Transformers can learn from. God, Transformers. It brought a whole new feel to it, as well as the extra, the newer characters that they added. Of course, they're being from the comic books and everything. I think their backstories were changed around. There was a good bit of stuff that was actually changed around from the comic books in here, to my knowledge, that I know of. And that is the creation of Ultron. He was actually created by Ant-Man himself. At least that's what I think in the comic books. At least that's what I've been told. Which is so funny because we actually had an Ant-Man trailer before the movie even came on. So it's interesting to see how they actually changed that to have Iron Man be the one to create Ultron. They do explain it in the movie, and I guess it works. For the most part, but it felt like it didn't need to be there, but at the same time, I guess they haven't introduced Ant-Man yet, so it wouldn't make much sense if they had that. But I hopefully in the Ant-Man movie they can make some connection to Ultron somehow. That would be pretty neat if they actually came up to do something like that. And my cell phone is going off. I'll take care of that later. Okay, and we're back. Sorry, that was my cell phone going off like crazy. Really do apologize for that. So, okay, let's get back to the review. Everything about this seems to work on a bigger level than the first movie. The final act is basically the same like the first one. It's not bigger in scale. Oh, well, in terms of what they're defending. They're still defending the Earth. So no, it's not bigger in scale. You can't get bigger than that unless they're defending the entire universe. And Ultron just made it clear he just wanted to destroy the human population. So let's talk about Ultron, because out of all the good things in this movie I would love to talk about or finish talking about, there's one thing that was a problem with me. And this is going to keep me from giving the movie a perfect rating. And it's Ultron himself, the antagonist in the movie. That's one of your biggest parts of the movie, to have an interesting bad guy. And what they did here was they made him funny and somewhat intimidating at times. I don't know why they changed the design for him, because in the original design he had like that jack-o'-lantern face. I don't know why they changed that. That would have been a lot more intimidating, a lot more scarier if he was full-on mechanical. They actually give him lips and everything, make him look, I guess, more human. He's supposed to represent us. I don't know. It looks weird. At first, I got used to him speaking, but at first it looked kind of weird to me because I know that's CGI. I know that isn't there. And when he's talking, it looks like a mishmouth. It just looks funny to me. But I got used to it. I got past that, and I just got used to him being there, because the movie does well establishing him as a character. I like the idea of him having fear, but yet trying to control people through fear. If there's one thing I didn't like, and I'm finally going to say it, let me hurry up and get to this, is his motivation. With destruction comes creation. I think I got that from Dragon Ball Z Battle of the Gods, which is literally the same theme that Ultron sees his world as. Humans, he was made for peace, to protect humanity, basically. Or just made just to keep peace. But by doing that, seeing how imperfect humans are through scanning the internet and learning about our past, he finds out that, well, maybe this world will be a better place without humans. And they even make the reference to, oh, well, the dinosaurs had to be destroyed to make way for the human race and everything like that. And I love how he brings up that, and yet he quotes scriptures from the Bible. That's kind of weird. But and anyway, not going into a religious debate. It's just odd that for something that was made to keep the peace would think that. And I know what you can possibly say. Yeah, humans are imperfect. Humans are imperfect. They make mistakes, and maybe this world will be better without them. You know, we just feel this all with the world of Ultron. You know, Ultron is perfect. Ultron is all powerful. Guys, you know, you're not doing anything new here, Marvel. You're not doing anything new. Movies like this have already done this. Let me name a few. I think that's just basically the Transformers plot. Watchmen, I think, have done it or proposed a question like that. The Matrix have done it or proposed a question like that in a smarter way. Terminator has done this with the robots want to take. This isn't new. Okay, this whole thing about, well, should humanity be given a chance to rule over this world, even though that they're imperfect and that they'll make mistakes and they probably end off killing each other anyway. You know, this has been a debate in so many superhero movies, and even animes have done this and done this better. This was like bare bones motivation, and that's basically the what the antagonist was going for. And they built this up like, oh, this is newly presented and everything. Guys, no, it's not. Okay, this whole idea of whether humanity should exist and whether the evolution of humanity are machines or any other alien entity that comes down to destroy us for no reason because they need our planet, or humans are just imperfect and we're just tired of looking at them. You know, yeah, this was done in alien movies too. It's like, okay, the perfect being, we get that, and that's the plot of this movie. It's something that I've seen so many times in movies. They've done so many times in comic books, video games, you name it. And it's nothing new here. And they think that they're doing something new, but they're not. Or maybe they're aware. You know, the writing is really smart in this for how much good the dialogue is in this movie and how great the acting is. They have to know that this story was just, well, it's a comic book movie. So I guess they're trying to make it simple. Not saying that Loki himself was a better villain, because he really wasn't. But at least his was straightforward. I just want to take over the world and just control stuff for once. And, you know, I understand that. You know, it's dumb, but it's a comic book movie, you know. Like I said, once again, video games have done this for years. What's the bad guy's motivation in most video games that you have possibly played? Is to take over the world. Street Fighter or something like take over the world. That's fine. That's been done so many times, but that's kind of acceptable because that's the norm now. But when you're trying to take something as far as, oh, well, maybe humanity shouldn't exist, because you're not doing anything different. And they're not putting up like a new spin on it. Kind of like what I said with these movies that I mentioned already, like the Terminator does or the Matrix does, where they put a spin. No, this is just simply eradicate humans. With destruction comes creation. Like I said, what Beerus said in Dragon Ball Z Battle of the Gods, you know, it's basically his job in Battle of the Gods is literally Ultron's motivation. Ultron would have been the perfect god of destruction because, you know, if you haven't seen Battle of the Gods, go watch it. I already said that before in that video, but that's what it is. And, you know, if you don't mind that, then you're going to love this movie even more than I did. And I really loved this movie. And I wanted to love it more. But the fact that they had to go with such a weak motivation for this villain, gonna have to bring it down a notch, bring it down a point. But with that being said, I think Avengers Age of Ultron is a fantastic film, and this has gone on longer than what it should have. I apologize. Yeah, so anyway, if you want to see Avengers Age of Ultron, I recommend it. I recommend going to see it. I think it's a good movie. It deserves a much higher rating than what it's getting on Rotten Tomatoes. Every time I make a review, I always put a quote and a rating from Rotten Tomatoes in the description box, along with my quote and rating for the movie in the description box as well under the Rotten Tomatoes one. And so I was searching Rotten Tomatoes after I saw the film, and I think it still has a 72 there. I was so confused because it's basically doing the same thing as the first movie, and you gave that a 92. Yeah, this movie deserves a higher rating. This is the only time I can actually say, okay, IMDb got it right. As far as the rating goes. You know, they're not too bad there, people rating the movies. But they definitely got it right over Rotten Tomatoes this time for once. So, ignore the ratings on some of the websites because this movie is good and it's worth seeing. It's better than what you think. You possibly think, oh, this is just going to be the first movie again. No, it's like a fusion of Guardians of the Galaxy and Captain America: The Winter Soldier. I'm up in the air on which one I like more out of those three films, although Guardians of the Galaxy and this one is possibly my two favorites. But as far as looking at it critically, giving a little bit of criticism on all three of them, it's kind of hard to pick one. But this is definitely up there. It's one of my favorite Marvel movies of all time. One of the best movies I've seen so far this year, thank God. Oh man, I thought, I'm going to have fun making the top 10 list this year. Okay guys, thanks for watching. That's it. Avengers Age of Ultron. I give my recommendation for it. Go out and see it if you haven't seen it yet. It is worth seeing. Whether you are a fan of these movies, a fan of Marvel in general, or whether you just want to go see a good action flick, go see it. It's really good. Okay guys, that's it. And I will hopefully catch you in my next video. Take care. What's this? Oh, look at that. Still got the ticket. Oh man, this movie was great. I think I might go see it again.